It had to go to all three maps, and we will finally get our showdown here on the map of Nuke as well, and Eternal Fire will start on the T side as well. So those concerns I may have about ENCE's T side will have to be delayed. Paz taking some duels and forcing Valde off the angle. He knows that they're trying to close the gap, and imoRR's got the first already. Outside presence lost here for ENCE, and imoRR's trying to be sneaky with the extra space.
Yeah, playing some Metal Gear Solid. Trying to be as quiet as possible, hide in plain sight. 5-on-3 now for Eternal Fire, who loves success in a pistol round, and they're heading in that direction once again. SunPayus has a lot to do, a hell of a lot to do. We have seen a number of teams in a pistol round opt to save Kevlar when things have gone horribly wrong, and this could be one of those situations as well. Kevlar 650, a kill $300. You've got to balance up what you want to go for here. But if he does pierce the Kevlar of the players who are currently untouched, it should force them to spend $1,000 in the next round as far as the T side is concerned. So there's a lot of different ways this could go, but they will be hunting for him. Even in the pistol round, XANTARES will be dropped, so he makes some money, but he will lose even more with that return kill from Paz.
5 for 5 in pistol rounds here for Eternal Fire. Like you said, they love to win them, and they do again. And getting off to a T-side pistol is super important on Nuke. We always talk about how many rounds you need on this side of the map. 5, 6 is really the sweet spot. And if they get off to the nice conversions that they've been having as well in the follow-up rounds, it means that they are closer to that goal without having to pressure their brain too much.
Always starting off well, Eternal Fire. A force buy comes through from ENCE, and SunPayus will be on the scout. He's left money in the bank, and we know that will be for the AWP later on. dycha close with the Desert Eagle, delivers the headshot, looking for another one. A bumpy ride thus far for Eternal Fire. Hope they've got their seatbelts on. And that's a pretty important kill. Gives them a lot of real estate outside. Might pull players around from the concentration that ENCE had around that A-bomb site. See Snappy wondering, maden starting to push, and they've lost another player in.
Yeah, pretty standard reaction there from ENCE as well, losing your outside presence, so they want to try and get something in towards the lobby, just get some level of information, but Eternal Fire already consider that. So let's see if SunPayus can land some tags. Seems like he might be offered a duel, but this is a very fast-moving player. Does actually give up the angle. Eternal Fire are really, really slow on how they approach this one. Last thing they want is to run into a stack.
40 seconds remain. Paz will be deploying some grenades into the A-bomb site. Compromise some positions of some would-be defending CT players. Don't want to wait too long though. Nobody on the roof, but they can confirm that. And down they go. They've got somewhere to be, and it is the B-bomb site. SunPayus and Snappy remain. Do they throw the good money after the bad here? Oh, even with the shadow, he just can't connect that Desert Eagle shot. So SunPayus is left alone. Maybe to save his scout if he can for the next round. Not much else to do.
This is why, I mean, AWPers always think on a budget, don't they? So they want to get that AWP out nice and early here for ENCE. We saw how much of an impact SunPayus had when he moved to CT side Mirage. Felt like he was a real difference maker, just constantly denying any chances for Eternal Fire to have a successful T side round. Be a while before we get that AWP in his hands. Eternal Fire once again. Good calls against these upgraded weapons. It has really been a revelation to see how energized Paz has been in this series. He has been consistently hitting past the 15 frag mark on both the maps, and you know, sometimes he did lag behind even further than that in previous outings. But maybe imoRR is giving him some extra liberties, or maybe it's the crowd that are helping energize just how important it is for these guys to win an international LAN event.
Yeah, and that won't be won in this game because, of course, Outsiders faced Mouse on the other side of the bracket earlier on. A struggle for Outsiders, but they were able to make it all the way to the final. They await their opponent. I'm sure they'll be making notes as well. But who will it be? It's down to this map now. Down to Nuke and Eternal Fire with a 2-0 scoreline. On the T side, will be off to the races. Minute 20 in round 3. A slow start to this one. You can see the M4A1S in the hands of dycha. Very capable player. Eternal Fire now wondering what the climate might be. Maybe towards the ramp. Not overextending though, not going too crazy. They're keeping a lot of utility. They've got a lot of mollies. That makes me think perhaps we're going to see an A play here.
As well, the lockers, so denying information outside if there was anybody home for ENCE, but just sitting behind smokes are Eternal Fire. They have to really worry about this clock. They don't want to let it wind down too low, 45, and maden is still considering both options because they know there's presence out. XANTARES will finally make his step, but it's ENCE have started to hide because those smokes have faded.
Oh, this is a scary one. There are a lot of CTs here with different angles. SunPayus will trade with the scout. Look at these kills. Look at that kill feed. dycha and Snappy remain. 20 seconds will feel like plenty if they can take the bomb site. And indeed they can. Now, where is dycha? He's in a 1 versus 3. And he is heading towards that bomb site. Bomb being planted for him. I'm sure it's being covered. Successfully planted. Grenades are flying through. That's a small window of opportunity. Eats maybe too much damage. Now, he hasn't been spotted just yet, as we can see. He doesn't have a kit. He is carrying an M4, a lot of money in his hands, and I think he'll want to hold on to that. So it seems he will be trying to quietly move away from this situation. A 3-0 start on the way for Eternal Fire. On the deciding map of Nuke, on the T side, is all you can ask for if you're them.
Yeah, he got a little nervous, I think, when woxic was planting for Heaven because they didn't have a smoke for main. They didn't have anybody that felt confident in taking that duel either. So him having to wrap around, that was the safest place he could be in. But if dycha were there a second or two earlier, might have been able to deny that plant and have a real crack at it, but was never given the time of day by Eternal Fire. Yeah, this 3-0 start, it's been consistent throughout the entire series, and still Eternal Fire have not been able to convert on both maps, hence we're able to come back considerably on map number 2. Have to see whether that weapon has any real bearings on the following round if dycha is able to perform. ENCE is going to go into that full buy, but considering the slow grind of Eternal Fire, may it matter? Not really sure. Spam from dycha is right on the money, and they're actually trying to get down the vent. They can't find the entrance, and so they're absolutely trapped. That looks silly from Eternal Fire's perspective, but ENCE will take that every day of the week.
Traffic jam turns into a pile-up by the squeaky position, and that bomb will need to be retrieved. Shadow will concede xFloud's position, a free kill for dycha. And ENCE are on the road to recovery. This is just the first step, though. And it's not over just yet. Paz hasn't died in this game so far, and he's looking to do as much damage as possible. ENCE need to stay alive in high numbers, if they can. So fast on that flick is Paz. He has 1 minute. Yes, the bomb is on the floor. He doesn't need to go for the bomb. He can just go for headshots. He is taking his time. It's awkward to guarantee a multi-frag. With 45 seconds to look outside, but is he retreating here? Just having a look to see if there's more opportunity. He might be prioritizing the lack of deaths here instead.
Yeah, it has cash as well. So if he decided to throw his life away, sure, he would have gotten extra money, but he saves more value than he would have gained. He's got a lot of utility on his belt as well. So he can drop some weapons over for Eternal Fire in the follow-up round should they be short on funds themselves. imoRR is the only one that really feels like he's in the red. xFloud would have been able to buy something, but they can get utility out for him as well. So it should be a full buy around the corner here for Eternal Fire, but a very successful stop to the vent drop that never was. I don't know how they missed the entrance. It's a pretty open point, but after running through a smoke, it was impossible to see.
That is exactly what ENCE needed. An opportunity, an error. Perhaps blinded slightly by the smoke. Couldn't quite find the correct angle. Landslide of kills for ENCE. And they get their first round early. And perhaps earlier than they would have been had those Eternal Fire players made it down the vent. We'll never know. What will they have to offer in this next round, though? Of course, they have the money to spread the wealth. So this will be a dangerous round for ENCE. Now, who does momentum favor? There is surely a gap between those smokes.
Massive one at that, so crossing for XANTARES will be nigh impossible.
There's the Mickey Mouse smokes. That's a cavity. XANTARES has realized, oh, right, we've got a problem here. So how do they adjust for this? They have to assume that the CTs know that no one has crossed the secret. There could still be a lurker, there could still be problems outside, but there will surely be expectations towards A and the ramp.
This will be, again, I think, another late round finish. When you lose resources and you use so many smokes, you do feel like you are pressured to either burst in towards the A-bomb site or late attack ramp. It will begin their creep. SunPayus playing from hell and actually gives up some sound cues, maybe hoping that it baits them to chase after him, maybe make use of that space. Snappy's in a good position to punish.
Hello. SunPayus not holding the angle, but emerging at a perfect time when XANTARES is looking the other way. Now he can re-emerge once Snappy runs distraction, takes the bomb no less. In the flame, SunPayus will deliver a very strong situation. No transfer for Paz, and the second round is here for ENCE.
Lovely setup and lovely timing there for ENCE as well. If SunPayus didn't just emerge, like you said, towards hell, I think very likely he could have been in for a world of hurt, but he took some risks and they were rewarded. They tried to chase after him, and like we were pointing out earlier, Snappy able to punish and cover the potential chase down.
So we see some players have notepads on the table, some have teddy bears. I do wonder if there is a limit. Can you bring a plant with you? Or maybe like a laminated sheet of lineups in case you forget how to throw a smoke properly.
That would be something.
Someone should be doing that. Don't be shy. It's been fixed on this occasion, but, you know, you can't obviously bring your phone or browse to a website to quickly remind yourself. Just bring a laminated sheet.
Yeah. Nice little silent cross here for Eternal Fire. Well, silence was there, but woxic catches a stray. woxic down and out, so in-game, or not the in-game leader, sorry. AWP versus AWP, it's not really, but he'll add it to the tally nonetheless. And it's not jumping the gun, not over-rotating as of yet, because they never got a confirmation on numbers towards the lower site.
Well, we are in a protect the VIP situation. Someone's going to have to go out there and take a bullet for the president. President being whoever's carrying the bomb. But have a look at dycha's off angle. He may not even be the initial engager. He will choose to be, actually. And there will be no bomb plant likely now. XANTARES 1 versus 5 with the Desert Eagle put out of his misery. Doesn't have all the money in the world, but the rifles are around the corner.
It is kind of crazy to think how considerable these pistol rounds and the following have been for Eternal Fire. The cushion that it presents them, because it feels like they hit this wall almost immediately on all of the maps. Once the weapons come out, and maybe just one mistake is what inspires as well. Some extra doubt. Has some missed utility. Had them fumble the vent. These are things that don't inspire confidence. AKs and a lot of util exchange at the start of this round as well to prevent rushes. dycha outside this deep smoke does allow him to play behind it. And he's got full information. They threw a wall of smokes outside. dycha's denied anything extra.
Yeah, that is a great position. And this is a question for Eternal Fire. How do you deal with hardship on Nuke, on the T side? One of the more difficult tests that are available. SunPayus gives a sound cue away. Don't know how much that means, though. Doesn't take the bait, doesn't hit the shot either, however, and has to fall back. Snappy was expecting more time, will be denied, and ramp has been compromised, and maybe more will be taken as well.
One of the first times we've seen that setup break down so quickly. It felt like ENCE had that one on lock a couple rounds ago. Like you said, them cracking through does at least mean that there is a vulnerability. You see the reaction from ENCE. They moved 3 players down towards that lower bomb site. So maden's left on an island, especially with his Paz's positioning. This could have been pretty devastating, but they go up that vent in the nick of time. If they decided to go for the wrap, because it seems like they're resetting into the lobby, this could have been the change, but SunPayus gets an aggro angle.
Oh dear, what is happening? He's whiffed another one! A swing and a miss multiple times, and it's all too late potentially. They still have a man advantage though, but that has quickly disappeared, and they're just trying to do too much. Throw the molly, fire the gun, it's not working out. dycha has an angle on the vent though. He can find both of them. He needs to find a connection. A catalogue of errors from ENCE all over that map. That is a very bizarre round from them.
Yeah, that looked like everything was off-tempo to what they were expecting in that round. They were expecting a hit at certain times or thought they might even have more time, but fumbled nades, fumbled shots. It felt like players were out of position in certain areas as well. So things just really aligned there for Eternal Fire to take that round. If they got away with all of those errors and Eternal Fire couldn't punish, then that would have been some real bad news. But Eternal Fire are there to make sure they are kept honest.
There's money for ENCE they can buy, but man, I guess you have to laugh it off. Sometimes it'd be like that. Perhaps it's a lack of a proper strafe cancel. The accuracy isn't there on the gun stats, but man, that was a weird round. So many opportunities. Like, there were at least 4 missed shots there between the AWP and the M4 at the end. More awkward for the M4, but those were sitters.
It did feel like we weren't watching Pro Counter-Strike for like a half second.
You gotta look at the positive side though. If you're gonna have a round like that, have it early rather than late. Have it round 7 rather than round 27 when the result may be more critical, or when you end up on eco afterwards. They do have a full buy here, ENCE, so let's see if they can do something. Same to be said for XANTARES, still looking for his first kill, 0 for 6. Teammates are pulling the weight though as they find themselves in the lead on the T side, and SunPayus is having a nightmare at the moment.
Started off well, but yeah, last couple of rounds have not exactly been rounds he will want to remember. Very good heads up as well from woxic, even just firing off the chance shot. Go for the smoke spam from main, sometimes go into the vents early on into rounds. That can be CT starts. SunPayus learned that the hard way, that woxic is ready for it, and a wall of smokes. The wall is a little off to the side, a little bit further and away from the red container, but enough that it will provide full coverage, and they do have a player that can greet them if they decide to go secret. That Molotov, it looks good, and I think it should spread, usually spreading forward, but dycha's safe. Not a single lick of the flame will touch him, not until he decides to reposition. He's already got the kill he wanted, but he's looking for even more, and the AWP shot missed as well from woxic, 2 in a row. They're getting away with far too much. ENCE as well are allowed to keep this man advantage, 4 on 2, but XFlow does trim it back.
From a team flash, there is an advantage, but it's all disappeared now. ENCE players are being dissolved like they're in an acid bath. Snappy has the bomb just around the corner. 23 seconds. The only way is up if they are to plant this bomb. They've got to make it up that ladder. Down goes XFlow, and now Snappy can just disengage. He can head somewhere else because woxic has got to find the kill, but Snappy will go for that as well and maybe take the AWP. Nerves of steel as ENCE come back.
Yeah, a couple different options there for Snappy, but he chooses the right one. Some missed opportunities there from the Eternal Fire punishment, but the struggles continue for both sides. I think nerves are certainly playing a factor here. ENCE would have come in with the expectation that they would be able to trounce a team like Eternal Fire, but they've come in with so much fight. And the fact that it slipped through the fingers of this Turkish squad on the second map as well with the ENCE comeback. There's a lot of mentality resetting that has to be done here on the third map. A lot of errors. But we do like a scrappy affair. We do enjoy when things come close. And it's been that so far to start off map 3. Good kills. Snappy, easy, clean up. No real investment here from Eternal Fire, just some armor, and dycha's there to cover. So you did a great job, in-game leader. Won a little 1v2 for us, and he thanks him by keeping him kicking.
Now, we make no assumptions. We've seen some crazy clutches, which started with a deagle already. Tall order for Paz, especially with some elevation like that, however. No kills in this particular round. And maybe everything is equal now. Everything is balanced once again for ENCE after the accidents that happened earlier on, to put it mildly. 5-4 though. You have to keep an eye on the T-side score here for Eternal Fire, because they've got a pretty reasonable score already that they can build upon. Once they get to 5, if they get to 5, that is, of course. Maybe it's a question of bonus rounds for them. Maybe there's less pressure. But certainly ENCE will feel the pressure to make sure that ship is righted after the incidents of late.
Tail jump up for XANTARES, and still yet to find his frag. We don't usually highlight so so heavily, but he has been an extremely impactful player for Eternal Fire this tournament. Highest rated, I believe, for the entire squad. He's the man to do damage. Get entry kills, find trades, woxic, spam. Valde tempting fate there, because woxic's been going for it for most of this round already. Good shot from SunPayus. Second. Oh, imoRR cannot trade. And that's the bomb as well.
Yeah, you cannot be deterred by the odd missed shot. You have to play your A game at all times. Keep that confidence high. He will deliver the required frags. SunPayus, look at that double scope in. Down goes XPloud, and he's looking for more. Looking for that highlight reel in this round. And there hasn't really been an answer just yet, but ENCE are not going to sit around and wait. They're going to force the issue, push lobby with 2, and really take control of this. They're going to set the pace in that round from the outside to in.
SunPayus, he's talked about so much as just a phenomenal AWPer, and the CT sides certainly show it. That you see the confidence that he's able to deliver in a round like this, when Eternal Fire have certainly been able to, I mean, get themselves into some feasible positions these past couple of rounds, sometimes due to small mistakes, but that's a confidence builder if you're SunPayus. You can get away with an aggressive move like that and have it be so fruitful.
Half buy for Eternal Fire. The Tech 9s will be very dangerous indeed. There will be a UMP as well in the hands of XPloud, which is quite interesting. He's opted for UMP and no Kevlar. Maybe a missed buy, I don't know, versus the running accuracy, let's say, of a Tech 9 and being able to absorb the odd bullet. I think 5 Tech 9s and Kevlar should be called a Hasbullah round. Small and perfectly formed. UMP, though, will be an anomaly on the sheet. Let's see what they can do with them. They've got the flashbangs and the odd Molotov. They make their way into the bomb site, but the positions are good for the CTs so far. They're supporting each other. They're holding hands on this bomb site. They will secure the bomb as well. Just the 1 kill for Eternal Fire, and another one secured by ENCE. 7-4 now. They're starting to pull away in this first half, as they need to on this side.
I like it. The name. I like it. Not liking what we're seeing from Eternal Fire, though. After the opening 3, it's hard to feel too inspired. Even the round that they did win, we were talking about the small mistakes from ENCE that sort of built up into a mountain very quickly, but they have righted the ship as well, just as fast. So ENCE may just sail off into the distance if Eternal Fire aren't quite there to greet them. I mean, we see some missed shots again. We're struggling to find the opening engagements that we expect to see XANTARES perform in. He is now in double digits in success. It's not exactly your typical Eternal Fire showing. To have players like Paz pop off in this series. Sure, woxic is certainly there. We've talked about imoRR this tournament, XPloud as the new young gun, but XANTARES is usually the consistent one. So rough starts. We'll see if that continues. Finally, he gets a fight to go his way. dycha dropped.
I think a really interesting round, a way of watching a round in a situation like this is if you say, watch XANTARES the entire round to see like what's going wrong. Is it that he's going for the entry and you know, he's the one swinging and not getting that duel, but someone else is trading, etc. But he's got his first kill on the board now, and he will be joining the team to make a wall of smoke. Don't be inhaling that. Make sure you're a few steps away. Bad for your health. Minute 10 on the clock for Eternal Fire to make their play. We can see that somebody is in secret for the opponent, but also I think there might be a gap towards main, but nobody to abuse it. Double mollies, making real sure. Hold on a second, this gap might be by design because they are creeping around it. So perhaps they're sending the CTs in the wrong direction. We're expecting that, perhaps not. XANTARES here to trade XANTARES again. He's looking for the ace at this point.
Yeah, woxic will finally contribute as well with his AWP, but we asked for contributions for XANTARES, and it's 3 in a row, but they cannot feel comfortable as of yet. SunPayus still having money in the bank, an AWP, and a 1-on-3. He's 1-on-4 that now is made 3. I would love to see him deliver on this, but it is a long road on the CT side of Nuke. You know that you need double-digit rounds. 9 is maybe acceptable, but 10, 11, those are the sweet spots, but they can't even get to 11 anymore. Eternal Fire will find their 5th, and SunPayus will choose to save. What a nice set of entry kills from XANTARES.
Not too late for him to turn up. Despite the resurgence of ENCE in the first half, there's a good scoreline for Eternal Fire. You can see XANTARES dying for his sins towards the end there. Taken by the bomb gods. You can see the support there, the instant trade frag from XANTARES. Always a pleasure to watch.
Kind of an awkward angle to fight, that little gap in the main smoke that they had thrown, but I think you were right on the money. The fact that they were utilizing that smoke instantly for main.
It was by design, I do believe.
Yeah.
So maden will... Oh, where did that come from? Those are angles I don't even know exist. Perhaps my maths wasn't good enough. 5 versus 4 for ENCE. And there's Eternal Fire trying to respond to this by heading towards the ramp, but they're heading into a trap. They're throwing all kinds of junk, but it won't stop SunPayus from that kill! Okay then, he knows his angles. Almost gets another tag through the wall there. Makes it a 5 versus 2. Eternal Fire getting shut down by the virus of ENCE.
Oh, dycha will drop the bomb though. Can't quite link up with woxic, and Snappy is there as well to get the next kill. That is a marvelous round from SunPayus. He was outside to start off the round, and they try to reroute to ramp, and he's right there to greet them as well. Is that how they greet people in Spain? I'm not too sure.
He is juicing. Ready for all those kills. woxic did what he could, but this round was destined for ENCE. They moved to 5. 2 rounds remain in the first half. 10 would be a really good result for ENCE in this half. We'll see if they can get there. We do have that Hezbollah round now. The 5 Tech 9s are out. See what they can do with them, if they can offer some kind of fight here. So far, not so good. imo the first to drop. It doesn't look good on the ramp either. They keep bringing challenges to SunPayus, and he will take them gladly, arms open.
Wow, 31 kills between SunPayus and dycha on this CT side. Both of them holding their ground perfectly. It's just been 2 here or there. 1 round in every 3, 4 rounds maybe that ENCE will be able to get. Eternal Fire have not found any stable ground. I mean, it's just lovely to see the young up-and-coming. I guess maybe young is the wrong way to put it, but he's a star.
Wow, rude.
Star AWPer on a trajectory. I think that's more a claim to what SunPayus has to offer. He got into the game a little late, but age is just a number.
Stereo bro fists for ENCE. Always nice. A short pause before we get into the final round of the first half. I do think that's a good idea, a laminated sheet. If you can't remember the lineups here, just have like a mosaic of screenshots of where you're supposed to throw your grenades from.
Na'Vi like the binder, don't they? They've got a whole document.
Yeah, could even get some more origami going. Turn it into a swan, pull it out when you need it. Last round of the first half, and woxic is searching for more, looking for his 10th kill, and there it is. SunPayus gets dropped. A big frag, considering what he's been doing to Eternal Fire recently. All right, then, no Super Mario Brothers for you. This is the wrong game, woxic, with 3 as his team take outside by force.
Anything you can do, I can do better. woxic's got 3 himself, and they have got access towards that lower side if they so choose. Picking off 3 players outside, though, it's hard to make the right read about where ENCE are going to reposition, because it's unlikely they simply sit on sites. They went for information, and valde has to find the right chance to strike.
So many sound cues, picks the perfect timing straight in the dome, and he's got the critical information. But there's somebody above him, and somebody in front of him as well. Rings a bell, but can't do all the damage required. Snappy now in a 1 versus 3. Difficult situation for him. woxic has the angle, but how do they cover the bomb here? Well, he's conceded his position. The Molotov won't matter because imoRR gets the last kill of the first half. 9-6 at halftime. Who makes it to the final versus Outsiders? Find out after the break. I've heard good things about the marmalade in Rotterdam, especially the homemade kind. However, one of these teams will be left with a bitter taste in their mouth after this half. There's only one slot in the grand finals, and only one of these teams will make it there.
See if we get a rolling start or a sticky finish. Good way to open there from XANTARES, nice and clean, but he's in a bit of a pickle. Maden does find the kill, and there's woxic as well to try and deny, but they do get access towards the secret steps, so the B bomb site is threatened, but XCloud is going to be there to put some utility down and show some presence.
ENCE really needs to break the curse of these pistol rounds versus Eternal Fire. They know nothing but success, EF, and they're looking for more. imoRR with those dualies. Nice headshot onto maden, trying to take control of control, but where is that bomb headed? It might not matter because there might not be enough players to really plant it at this point. 4 versus 2, made one, and that might be one and done. Indeed, it will be on the A bomb site as another pistol round is taken by Eternal Fire.
Yeah, 6 for 6. It's unbelievable that they're able to rely on these so consistently. ENCE have struggled in every moment, and even when they are able to go 1 for 1, you'd think that's an advantage that they could work off of, but they're so spread out and they end up giving a lot of these 1 for 1 duels. Eternal Fire just too quick on the trigger in these pistols, and the guarantees are usually that they can chain the next couple together as well.
What is the response from ENCE? Well, the response will be heading towards the ramp. Oh, hold on a second. XCloud, he's been caught with a grenade in his hand. Maybe a molly obscuring the sound of the charge, the stampede of ENCE players into this bomb site. But XANTARES is here, but that's quite the Molotov to stop him.
Yeah, he ran through a Molotov to get down the vents because he knew the urgency of the rotation. So he's down to low HP even before this retake gets going. A 5-on-4. I mean, this is a really tough place to crack in because they've got smokes to delay, and there will be another one to refresh afterwards.
They have no kit either, so this is really going to waste some time. They don't have control. They don't have the double doors. Their only option really is decon. And they're taking the wise decision. I think this is the only decision to make once those smokes come. You have been more or less checkmated for that round. So they will fall back and hold on to 4 weapons. Very important, very fast response from Eternal Fire. Very fast down, almost on skates, ENCE. That was so fast.
Yeah, it's the importance of being a reliable ramp player as well on the CT side. XCloud, you know, we talk about him reintegrating into the squad. They even said themselves that their map pool sometimes feels a little limited. So to have him come in and play such an important role, if he dies instantly like that, it can be devastating. And we saw ENCE convert exactly on cue as well. So immediate punishment, and I guess there are no guarantees when you go up against the 4 spies. Felt like we might have hit a bit of a streak for Eternal Fire, but not everything can go their way.
Did you see that reaction on the camera, though? woxic could see some concern with one of his teammates, really feeling that pressure now, trying to keep everyone's head in the game. woxic has got a lot of experience on his shoulders, and he will need to keep his team focused.
Wow.
Has exploded, shrapnel at his feet, and he is a goner. Nice air raid by ENCE. Starters, you mean to go on? Have to keep an eye on those camera shots for later on. See if the story will be told on the faces of some of these EF players.
Yeah, double tags as well. So valde and SunPayus have mirroring HPs, but dycha is able to at least make it an even more advantageous position. 5-on-3, and while these players are low, Eternal Fire don't exactly have all the bodies they need to trade successfully. There's a lot of multi-kill potential that opens up, though.
It's a very narrow choke point into the A bomb site, but the smoke will certainly help. Now, is it the vent or is it the site? Looking to the left, taken down from the right. XANTARES and imoRR really putting some work in now. One creeping up towards heaven. And that will be very instrumental indeed. A re-smoke of main, and they have a chance to plant the bomb. They have outmaneuvered Eternal Fire, as unlikely as that looks in the short term.
woxic doesn't want to go up those vents. It's a very easy way to give it up in terms of the advantage. I mean, 2-on-2 made a 2-on-1 if woxic decided to make that move. Instead, they will go for different retake positions. This time they do have the kit on XANTARES as well, and there should be a weapon in woxic's path, but it's about finding out where ENCE have repositioned.
If XANTARES dies up top, that might be the round over because the kit is in heaven now, and if there isn't one of these bodies, then woxic has a lot of work to do. Going for the pot shots into the hut, trying to find something. They may be playing the bomb here. Don't give him what he's looking for. Well, there's the first one, but again, no kit. That kit sadly lost in heaven, but happily for ENCE, they secure another round. Bearing in mind, these guys have lost practically every pistol round in this series. The fact they're even in this third map is a miracle, and they're in the lead as well.
Yeah, it went to all 30 rounds on Mirage, but they were so consistent on CT and converting these close moments where I almost thought they were about to lose this. They ended up from a 3-on-5 to suddenly being in a 3-on-2, but once they got the final kill on the bomb site, just given enough room to reset. Maybe you start to shed all of that concern, all of that doubt for ENCE. Eternal Fire are now on pistols that aren't quite as threatening.
XANTARES spending most of the cash here for the Desert Eagle. Down to 1750. I'll be keeping an eye on his buy in the next round. Let's not forget the cold start he had going into this one. Got 7 kills now, but they will desperately need XANTARES in this second half if they are to catch up with the likes of ENCE, who are not too far away. Very likely to convert this round as well, are ENCE. Now let's see what their anti-eco is like. Don't want to be too careful, but don't want to be sloppy either. You need to find a good middle ground here between too fast and too slow. That is a great way to start. There goes Desert Eagle. The USP is not going to trade that frag.
Duo on a rifle, and SunPayus can. Maden as well on the flank coverage. Paz tries to chase him down on the reload, but Maden knows better. A 12th for ENCE, and they have flipped the script. Yeah, they may lose every pistol, but the fact that they've bounced back so quick in the second half is a real growing concern for Eternal Fire. That cushion is so plump, so luscious when you get it, but now that it's absent, they start to feel the hard floor.
2 MAC-10s out for ENCE. This squeaky door is blown off. Is this a full send into the bomb site? That is a very deep flashbang. Valde, precision. Has he created enough space? Look at that swing from dycha. Creating the space, allowing maden to trade that frag, and the A bomb site will be taken. Players in heaven. They'll try to give themselves some extra angles with that smoke. And actually give themselves more than that now as they have a 3 versus 2 as the bomb's being planted.
That's a mistake made by maden, just to spam straight through that smoke, because XANTARES can easily trace him. That's the one thing the A1S is proficient at, and so this 3-on-2 is very feasible, but they have to move quickly. The kits aren't with them.
Pop flash and Flad will look for something. He rings the bell, but he can't do all the damage. SunPayus still alive for now, and that will be very costly as we can see. XANTARES' hand may be forced here. No kit makes things so much harder for him. The only man standing for his team now can only do so much, but he can't win the round. ENCE moves to 13. 3 rounds away from grand finals now.
Marvelous stuff from SunPayus, getting it done on the AK when he needed to step up most. XANTARES just couldn't find the tracers, couldn't find the right angle through the smoke. Guy's not just a sharpshooter on the AWP, he hits heads as well.
See some frustration for XANTARES as well. woxic really needs to rally the troops here. Frustration is settling in, and that may cause them further underperformance. Need to overcome the hardship and try and bring things back, but what an important frag from SunPayus after getting dinked and surviving that first duel. Again, Eternal Fire's economy is in the bin. And their names may soon be in the shredder as far as this tournament is concerned, unless they can stop ENCE from making it to 16. Another unlikely round for them. The rifle gone, and of course, when you have that hero rifle, you've got to overextend, you've got to take some added risk and try and find something for your team. But that may lead to an early buff, as it has here for XANTARES.
Oh, the spam from imoRR is right on the money, so Snappy's gone, and that's a weapon that can be recovered later on if they concede lobby control, but the tags on imoRR, not something that they will have full confirmation on, but he is softened up. He needs to be able to find a multi-kill on this bomb site. Feels like the only way in.
Down they go. Grabs the third one, but the bomb is still in situ. It's still en route to that B bomb site. woxic needs a miracle. I don't think that was what he was looking for. Not getting much of anything they're looking for in this half Eternal Fire. And this half is going by pretty quickly as well.
Yeah, fast rounds from ENCE, and they've gone for some burst calls. imoRR is actually attempting this 1-on-3 as well through the smoke. He'll try it. Not looking the right direction. SunPayus is a sitting duck, but they're double rafters, so one side, the other, he had to consider, and he couldn't do the 180 quick. It will again be ENCE success. They're at 14 and doubling the score of Eternal Fire.
Everybody. Every time the camera is on Eternal Fire, there's another player who's just
dejected.
really under the hammer from their opponent ENCE now. They are feeling this. They are frustrated. Nothing is working. Nothing is going right for Eternal Fire at the moment.
ENCE were always going to be the big fish to fry in this tournament, but Eternal Fire, it seems like they didn't pump the heat quite quick enough. dycha so quick to run out through the door, and he's created a little bit of room, but maden can't capitalize, can't get the extra frag. valde will at least take out the outside presence, but they're down a man, and they find woxic descending from the heavens. Paz and XCloud, all that remain, and now valde can change his position and leave them in the dark, because they've already got a position as well for SunPayus to activate lower.
Full send from dycha, utterly disrespectful. No trade fragger, just going in there blissfully, gleefully with the Mac-10.
Bomb has been planted.
And the bomb is planted on B. valde holding rotation for now. XCloud has no idea what opportunity awaits him. Again, there's no kit. They just can't spread the money far enough to get everything they need. valde on the flank now. There are so many places to find. There could be an off angle, there could be an occasional peek from the likes of the control position. There's the first one spotted and swatted, leaving XCloud with so many problems. He knows he's got a 1v1 on the side, but he has to get on a bomb, can't even find it. And there's no way. He's basically signed his death warrant here. One way or another, he doesn't have a kit. They just can't do enough, and that's match point now. Many match points for ENCE.
Yeah, I mean, valde only got confirmation on one player when he was in heaven, but as soon as it came to the fact they didn't have kits, they were chewing off too much time, wanted to make use of the utility, and there just never was the right opportunity for it. SunPayus just nestled away, and while XCloud finds kills, it is not enough. Surprised to see ENCE be so consistent on this T side, and they've been doing that by varying up the pace. Sometimes they have just gone with these super aggressive plays. Sometimes they've gone for bursts, just at a delayed timing. They are finding picks and they are varying this T side. It's super hard to read if you're Eternal Fire.
You can see that woxic has joined the 1,000-yard stair club for Eternal Fire, so I think that hope has been lost for most. But they're still here for now. But for how long? It is going to be a long, long journey. And I don't know that they have any success we can remember to build upon. After the pistol, every round has been taken by force from ENCE. By ENCE, rather. It's been taken from Eternal Fire. They have there's no measurable success in this half whatsoever. Everything has been going wrong. They can't really look at any of these rounds and tweak something. They simply need to frag out. They need to win these duels. dycha, he sent it into A last time, sends it towards Secret. They're so confident, ENCE, and they've got the AKs as well.
Yeah, even with dycha low, they still commit down lower, and maden has been dropped instead. Might have started out healthy, but make sure that there's an illness. Eternal Fire have found an advantage, something that they need to hold on to desperately. Even when ENCE have been down a man, they found an extra place to catch a player off guard. Danger duel, XANTARES another, and Secret will be the only real sanctuary. valde is left on the lurk, so they'll make a lot of noise, try to distract and allow valde to activate sooner rather than later.
That is a huge frag for SunPayus. The whole map has felt like a shooting gallery for ENCE in this half, but it's not over just yet. valde will try to find something, find a way to get ENCE back into this one. He will do exactly that. The numbers are tied, 40 seconds on the clock. XANTARES and woxic are so heavily tagged, and now woxic is alone. And there are the last two shots from dycha. ENCE make it to the grand final to face outsiders.
Man, Eternal Fire made this series so much closer than people had them pegged for coming into this tournament, and they fought tooth and nail across the first two maps. But then we enter Nuke, and it feels like the air is just punched out of them. ENCE were hammering them on that T side, and they made sure they never got back in. ENCE are going to be in that grand finals against the outsiders.